Did Beyonce's new Levi's ad expose her biggest secret? Folks are saying Beyonce went full-on skin bleach, and this time the whispers came from inside the hive. We're not talking about tanning, contour, or bad lighting. We're talking about a transformation so extreme folks are saying she looks like Marilyn Monroe's long-lost twin. And now the internet's eating it up like Sunday dinner. So buckle up, because what started as a denim campaign just flipped the lights on something much deeper. When Beyonce's Levi's ad dropped, it wasn't just jeans people noticed. It was the blonde bombshell hair, the pale skin, the Hollywood lighting. She didn't look like the Houston girl we grew up with. She looked like a vintage Marilyn Monroe filter. And listen, we've seen Beyonce rock platinum wigs before, but this time the vibe was different. This wasn't stage glam. This was something deliberate. The skin tone, the angles, the erasure. It had people wondering, is this really Beyonce, or is this Beyonce rebranded? But the real scandal? The whispers were coming from stylists, insiders, and even some of her own fans. Here's where it gets juicy. Just days before Beyonce's ad, Sydney Sweeney dropped her American Eagle campaign. Now, Sydney's whole ad played up the soft, feminine girl next door aesthetic. Blonde, blue-eyed, all American. And the internet ate it up. But then Beyonce's ad dropped, and suddenly people were seeing double. Both ads featured blonde women, both had retro Americana vibes, but only one of them got dragged, and it wasn't Sydney. Social media flipped the switch and started accusing Beyonce of trying to act white, cosplay Marilyn, and erase her blackness. But the gag? Some folks said Beyonce wasn't being dragged hard enough. That if Sydney was gonna get flamed for promoting Eurocentric beauty, then Beyonce deserved the same heat for imitating it. And that's when the culture wars pulled up with receipts. Because of course he showed up. Piers Morgan couldn't help himself. He hopped on Twitter and called Beyonce's look disappointing and accused her of culturally appropriating Marilyn Monroe. Not copying, not inspired by, culturally appropriating. Sir, be serious. Then Megyn Kelly, who never met a black woman she didn't try to humble, jumped in and called Beyonce fake, bought and paid for, and whitewashed. She even said, and I quote, "There is nothing natural about Beyonce. Everything about her screams artificial and desperate." Now, normally, Black Twitter would have gathered these two like a bad wig, but this time, things got quiet. Uncomfortably quiet. And that silence was the loudest drag of all. Now, you know Miss Tina wasn't gonna let her daughter get cooked without a fight. Mama Tina took to Instagram and posted the exact photo people were using to say Beyonce looked bleached. In her caption, she clapped back hard. How sad is it that some of her own people continue this stupid narrative with hate and jealousy? She wore silver hair to match her silver dress, duh. Then she went in on the trolls, calling them ignorant and self-hating, and even blasted a TMZ reporter for asking Beyonce's hairstylist if she was trying to look white. And listen, we love Miss Tina for defending her child, but the damage was already done, because while she was defending a wig, the internet had already moved on to Beyonce's skin. Let's be honest, Beyonce's always been light-skinned. No one's denying that, but side-by-side photos from Destiny Child days to now, they're telling a different story. In early 2000s interviews and videos, Beyonce's skin had visible golden undertones. Today, it's porcelain. No glow, no bronze, just bone white. Now, some fans said it's the lighting, others said it's the filters, but baby, we seen filters. This ain't it. And let's not forget the time L'Oreal got exposed for allegedly lightening her skin in a foundation ad, making her look like Mariah Carey's cousin. The photo went viral for all the wrong reasons, and folks started asking, is this brand strategy or a bleaching blueprint? The conspiracy crowd, they're naming names. She's using Cara White. She's pulling a Sammy Sosa. She's bleaching so she can appeal to country radio. And the context? It matters, because this Levi's campaign dropped right before her country album rollout, a rollout that's already been criticized for catering to white audiences. Coincidence or rebranding? Here's where things hit different, because an old interview from Beyonce's own father, Matthew Knowles, just resurfaced, and it's making people connect dots in 4K. In the clip, Matthew admits that Beyonce's early success was tied to her complexion. He said it plainly: the music industry favors light-skinned women, and he used Kelly Rowland as an example of someone who had the talent but not the skin tone to get equal airplay. When asked how Beyonce's career would have gone if she were darker, he said it would have been different. And that one word said everything. Because now people are saying Beyonce didn't just benefit from the system, she played it. And she's still playing it. And according to one of her early makeup artists, they tweak her tone on purpose, warm it up for Black targeted videos, cool it down for crossover commercials. That's not a coincidence. That's color-coded marketing. Even on tour, dancers whispered that B stayed out the sun not for rest, but for consistency. The skin tone has to match the branding, one said. Baby, not everyone's avoiding UVs for hydration. One person tweeted, why didn't Beyonce wear Bantu knots or a textured wig for the Levi's ad? Why is country Beyonce giving Marilyn instead of Missy Elliott? Another wrote, she does this every time she wants to appeal to white audiences. She erases the Blackness and gives us Barbie. And the truth is, they're not wrong. Beyonce has worn afros, braids, and natural styles, but usually when she's performing Blackness as part of the aesthetic. When it's time to go mainstream or go country, suddenly it's blonde wigs and pale skin. Even her fans are clocking it. They're not canceling her, but they're not defending her either. And that silence, it says more than a clapback ever could. So, is Beyonce actually bleaching? Because this isn't just about one ad. It's about years of image control, strategic styling, and quiet shifts that make you wonder who Beyonce is trying to appeal to and what she's willing to leave behind to get there. Some say she's a chameleon, a genius at reinvention. Others say she's abandoning the very culture that built her. When Rihanna faced similar backlash, she clapped back, deepened her glam, and moved on. But B, silence. Some fans say B isn't trying to look white, she's trying to look alien, a beauty so futuristic it transcends race. But if bleaching is just a side effect of futurism, who gets erased in that future? But here's the question we're left with. If skin bleaching isn't part of Beyonce's journey, why does it look like it is? Why do so many fans, especially Black women, feel like they don't recognize her anymore? Maybe it's not about the bleach. Maybe it's about what we lose when our icons stop reflecting us and start reflecting who the industry wants them to be. Because if Beyonce isn't bleaching, we're left with something even deeper. A brand so curated it's bleaching the culture instead. So now we want to hear from you. Is Beyonce really bleaching her skin, or is this just strategic lighting and fashion choices gone viral? Do you think she's changing her image to stay relevant in country and crossover markets? Or is the culture just too sensitive and too quick to cancel? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit that like button and watch our other messy expose that's got everyone clutching their pearls.